Hi there, welcome to another beer garden, joined as usual by Joe and Joshua, and very glad to see Shireen back with us. How are you, Shireen? Are you feeling better?
Hi, thank you everyone. I miss you a lot. I also enjoy racing of course very much when I was recovering. But luckily, I just took several days for me to recover. So although I'm now always feeling thirsty, I just drink the water. But I feel really good now. So hopefully we can bring you some winner tonight at Happy Valley.
We missed your expert opinion.
Yeah, thank you for missing me, and I'm very happy to be here again.
Yeah. Before we start, we quickly mention the fantastic jackpot, isn't there? Is it 30, something like 37 million Hong
Yes.
Kong dollars, which is almost as much as Joe has in his bank account. But
Just just
yeah,
just that much.
That
yeah.
much.
It's all these winners, Joe, at Del Mar keep tweeting.
Yeah. Well, too bad it's not happening anymore.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Not
Just before
until November.
Is that when it starts? Is it November?
Yeah.
Just before we start, we should mention there's a new pool, isn't it? And that is the trainers sort of a competition for the best trainer. Is that right, Shireen? That's the latest thing.
Yes, the trainer challenge. It is quite similar to jockey challenge that we have that pool in Hong Kong for recent seasons. But in this Hong Kong racing season, we have this new pool, the trainer challenge. But you have to place your bet before race one starts. So I think that it is quite interesting, and it is quite popular among the Hong Kong punters, because I always receive some comments from the Hong Kong racing fans that we should mention a bit about the trainer challenge, because it is quite an interesting pool. And this time, I think that Danny Shum, who and also Ricky Yu, the two local trainers, just had a fabulous starting of the season. They continue to have some good good horses in this Happy Valley meeting. So we can also focus on the local trainers that have a good result recently, just like Danny Shum or Ricky Yu. I believe that they will continue to have some good results on Wednesday.
Yeah, they probably will. That's the good thing. I mean, I know Joe and Joshua and myself do a little sort of blog with all our selections for each race, and it kind of picks itself, doesn't it? You suddenly look back and then you add up the trainers and you get the points that way, isn't it? You look at the horses first and then suddenly you realize actually who's winning in your own little trainers challenge. Well, we start.
I just want to quickly mention within that's different from the jockey challenges. You could have multiple trainers win in one leg because it's similar. They get the points. So if you have, like, say, two Frankie Lore horses and they go first and third, you get the points. So you get to pretty much, that's going to be a really big thing. So
yeah, it's quite interesting actually, isn't it? When you look at it, it's almost like parimutuel betting in France, isn't it? When you have the trainers, two horses battling it out for you, and well, sometimes you're three-handed in some races. They have half the field occasionally.
Chris Waller over here in Australia.
Yeah, Chris Waller has like almost everything in one, even in a G1.
Yes, right.
How many good horses he has.
That's a cool thing to do, then just pick Chris Waller.
Yeah.
What we started today, the triple trio as usual, races 4, 5, and 6. And then we have our favourite bit on the beer garden, which is our best bets, followed by our value bet. But we start with race 4. It's the Tai Hang handicap, nice and easy to pronounce this time, which is good. It's a class 5 handicap over 1,800 meters. Who should we start with? Joe, who do you like in race number 4?
Yeah, I took a bit of an outsider for this one, and I took number 12, Ma Wei Luck. He's been on the speed in his last couple races and just couldn't hang on, except for that penultimate race back at Happy Valley on May the 25th. He did hang on, but he was still far off, and Grand Power just went over the top of him. But I'm looking for this race, I think draw's not really that important with the 1800. So he is drawn number, I believe. Where is he?
Gate 7.
Gate 7, yeah. And I think Alex Bedell is going to try to get. He hasn't had a win yet, so I don't think so. I think he's going to try to get a win with this one. I think this was probably a decent amount out of all of his other ones. But I do see another one that's also on the speed as well, and that is Passing Fashion. But I think if they're gonna try something different, I think Maui Luck is gonna be probably off the pace this time if they do decide to do that. If not, he's just gonna be loose on the lead. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Maui Luck. I think the speed, especially with everybody coming up fresh at first up, maybe his fitness is there. He hasn't really had a trial, but I think he'll go okay. So I'm gonna take an outsider, Maui Luck, for race number 4.
Okay, Whammy Luck for Joe. Joshua, who do you like?
Yeah, I settled with number 5, Owner's Star. Look, he's going to settle about midfield, and doing some past research on the way this track plays in this position, they generally get right off the rail into the center of the track. So that's what I'm banking on. It's a little bit tough way to start our triple trio with this Class 5. But I was looking for a horse that would handle the 1,800 meters, no worries, and this guy ticks those boxes. His finish, I know he finished 7th at Sha Tin to end the season last season, and but he was drawn wide. He had to settle further back than what was anticipated. Still finished off the race well, but it's the race prior that I wanted to concentrate on, which he did win in Class 5 over the 1,800 meters. He ended up winning by just over half a length, but beating home horses like Grand Power and Smiling Face. So I think he's not a bad way to start the triple trio, but in these Class 5s, I've got no confidence whatsoever.
Yeah, I know how you feel, but Joshua, Owner's Star there for you. And Shireen, do you agree with either of these fine selections?
Yes, I do. I actually agree with Joe because I'm also going to select number 12, Wame Luck down the bottom. I would say that he is quite a Class 5 horse. You know, he is always inconsistent, and then he's still a maiden after 18 attempts in Hong Kong. Before this season, he was trained by Tony Cruz, but he used to be quite a thin horse in the parade. But after the summer break, he was transferred to Misha stable. And then after the stable transfer, it is good to see that Wame just gained 35 pounds, and I believe that he's now much stronger. And then also in this 1,800 meters race, he's going to carry 120 pounds, which will be another advantage for him. And also, I believe that last season we see him just drop to Class 5 at Sha Tin, and then he just finished close. And I believe that he has a bit ability in this class, but you know, he's not. He is quite inconsistent. But hopefully, making his seasonal debut tonight, ridden by Alexis Badel, he knows the horse quite well. I believe that he's going to have some different performance because just joined a new stable. So I'm also going to select the outsider, number 12, Wame Luck in race 4.
So Wame Luck for Shireen. Tough race, isn't it? This Class 5. I ended up going for number 2, Circuit Elite, which a nice horse, nothing from 10, Tony Cruz trained. I really liked his race, his run 2 runs back, and it was a 5th place. He had a wide trip. He stayed on really nicely, and he's 3 pounds lower than a 3rd place that he had failed. I think it's 3 back. He was 3rd, and he's now 3 pounds low off a mark of 36, drawn 5, which is fine. Vincent Ho on board. And yeah, I think this horse could run really well, but it's just nice to see a bit of collateral form once again, isn't it? Because we've got Regency Master, Fortune Patrol, Grand Power, Loyal Ambition, and Smart Cousin, who all ran 10 days ago. So it's nice to see we can start comparing horses' merits now on recent runs. Smart Cousin did the best that day. He was 2nd, but I think Loyal Ambition could step forward this time. He's in gate 2, Joe Moreira on board. But yeah, for me, I will take Circuit Elite. I think he found some consistency last season, and hopefully he can step forward. So just to recap, Joe goes for number 12, Wame Luck. Joshua, number 5, Owner's Star. Shireen agrees with Joe. 12 again, Wame Luck, bit of an outsider. And I will take number 2, Circuit Elite. So the next one, race number 5, is the Shao Kai Wan handicap. Is that right, Shireen?
Yes, good pronunciation.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Sometimes I go on YouTube and try and find these things, you know, and yeah, it takes a long time. Anyway, we got there. It's over 1,200 meters. It's another class 5, so nice and easy. Joe, who do you like?
So I'm with number 4, Happy Fat Cat, and I remember when we first all thought that he was going to run a big race on his debut because he had really, really good trials, but then just couldn't do it, and then fell down. He's like going all the way down in the rating. Now, only carrying I want to say like 58, 57 kilos now. But he is going to get the pacifiers for the first time. He's going to get Jack Wong, who's going to take 3 pounds off. I also think that he does have, speaking of collateral form line, he does have some with California Veins, who just won the all-weather race in the first race at Sha Tin. So I think now that he's going to be first up again, so like most like what I said before, a lot of these have been going up first up, and now I think that he's going to have the fitness this time around. He's trialed okay. He's got a 3rd in his last trial, but and then he's also with the pairing stable. So he went from Tony Millard to the Ing stable now. So I think that Happy Fat Cat, he does have a chance to at least run in the placings. Also ran behind WizKid and I think it was WizKid, and then there was another one that he ran behind that was really good as well. Let me take a look back here. It was Koludi Star. That's the one I picked before. Flying Dragon, Ice Legend. But these are all big odds. So I think he was favorite in his debut race because of those trials. But now I think you're gonna get a decent price on him now, 13-1. So I think he could try to run a big race. If he doesn't win, he'll get something good in second. So Happy Fat Cat for me.
Okay, Joe, a Happy Fat Cat. Yeah, I remember that. We all got lumped on, didn't we? We thought he was going to be the big win, and it kind of was a bit of a disaster. But yes. Now the next our selections. Now we're all in a bit of agreement here, I think. But Joshua, who do you like in this race?
Yeah, I like number 6, Island Surprise. I've actually made it my best bet on the card. I thought it was beautifully drawn out of barrier 5. I know that there's a fair bit of speed to the outside, which is fine. We've got one of the better jockeys in Hong Kong in Zach Purton aboard, so he should assess this nicely. The drop back from class 5 is what's the key here. He's run consistently in class 4 previously, been thereabouts. He's run 4th, 5th, and 5th by only about a length and a bit in most of them. Behind horses like Eternal Bloom, Eremo, Packing Treadmill, Fun and Glory. That's amazing form for something like this. He only had the 2 starts at the end of last season. Coming back, he ran on the wet Happy Valley, which he ran well. He ran a 5th behind Stoicism. I think I pronounced that right. And then yeah, there was not much went right when they put the blinkers back on in its last start of the season. So Zach's trialed him well. I believe it was a very, very good trial, won by 1.6 lengths. And as I said, he's drawn well here. And I think he's the best bet on the card.
Confidence, Joshua. Going to win by 5 lengths.
You need it. Need the confidence.
You do. Shireen, do you agree?
Yes, hopefully. I like number 6, Island Surprise as well. I agree with Joshua that gate 5 is very, very, very ideal for him because he may follow Happy Fat Cat, who is Joe's selection, from his inside draw to get in front, and then at the same time, another leader in the field, Seeger Buddy, will be cutting in the front from the outside. So Island Surprise will get a cover from them, and also definitely with the champion jockey Zach Purton on board is definitely a plus. Because Island Surprise, this is the first time racing in class 5. He should be competitive here because I believe that Island Surprise just has 10 starts before in Hong Kong. He is definitely unexposed, and this time racing in class 5 in a weak field and also with Zach Purton on board, a really good chance for him. So I have my votes for number 6, Island Surprise as well.
So Shireen goes for Island Surprise, and so do I. So you don't fancy changing your selection, Joe, no?
What was that?
You're happy with Happy Fat Cat. You don't want to just join us, do you? 'Cause we've all got
Well,
Island
I mean,
Surprise.
if everybody, I mean, if that's that, I mean, if everybody's gonna pick that, I want to pick something that will be within the triple trio. So I think Happy Fat Cat.
Yeah,
I don't. If it doesn't win, I don't care because it will get. That's
yeah.
the point for me is to try to get something within the
Of-
first, second, or third.
Yeah,
Of
right.
course. When I saw you picked Happy Fat Cat, I was trying to send you an emoji of the name, but I couldn't find an emoji for fat. You know, I just had
Just make an emoji of me. That'll be the fat part.
I didn't say that. Yeah, so I've gone for Island Surprise as well. Similar to my selection, Circuit Elite in the previous race, he's also nothing from 10. And to be honest, sometimes I prefer a horse that's actually gone and done it. But you've got to win. You've got to win for the first time, haven't you? And Island Surprise is a nice horse. And as Joshua and Shireen have alluded to, this probably won't take a great deal of winning. Polaris Winner has no form to speak of. Smart Leader, he seemed to lack toe at Chatin last time, 10 days ago. And although he's on a fantastically well handicapped, he's 8 years old. He just doesn't look as fast as he once was. Cigar Buddies is drawn high for a front runner. Theta Hedge is drawn worse still in 12. Sunny and Gold, I think this is a bit of a sharp trip now, dropping back to 1200. And Raging Blaze, well, he was a good second last time, but he's not guaranteed to go one better. So yeah, I like Island Surprise. So just to recap, in race number 5, Joe is going for number 4, Happy Fat Cat. And the rest of us are going for number 6, Island Surprise. So fingers crossed that either of us can get a winner there.
At least get the Quinella. I'll be
Yeah.
happy with the Quinella or the Quinella place.
We
Yeah,
won't
well,
speak. We won't speak to you if Happy Fat Cat wins and we're second, though. We'll just be so disgusted. But yeah, good luck anyway. Good luck. Race number 6 is the Fortress Hill Handicap. The quality goes up here. Might be a bit easier to find the winner. Class 3 over the 1650 meters. Joe, who do you like here in race number 6?
It was kind of tough to pick. I think if the track plays on speed, I think that I'm gonna take my Ecstatic here, number 2 with Keith Young. He is the front runner. He is gonna be the pace of the race, and I think if he's loose on the lead and they can't catch him, then I mean, with all these, like I said on the last 2 times, if all these horses are running fresh first time out and they just run them off their feet and catch them with their pants down and going to sleep, he could run away with the race. But it is going to be tough because there's a lot of them that are coming out of class 4 to go into class 3. Especially with I was looking at Storm Legend and Robot Warrior and Packing Famous. But I think I'm going to take a stab with my Ecstatic. I think he's the second favorite. And it's a really wide open race because Co-Partner Elite and my Ecstatic are the 2 co-favorites with 5.5 for each. So I went to go with Keith Young's mount instead of Harry Bentley's. Plus he has the draw. He's drawn 1. So I'm going to take my Ecstatic for me in this race.
Good pick, Joe. My Ecstatic coming from the plum drawing 1. Kind of surprised me last season. I thought he was as good as he was going to be, and then he suddenly rattled off 3 wins from 4 runs. So really good and excellent chance there. Joshua, who do you like?
It's funny that Joe was just talking about the odds. I actually haven't seen any of them yet. So let's just hope that my value pick later is in value. But I like number 1 Co-Partner Elites here. Look, he's been running over 2,000, 1,800 meters, which I think 1,600 to 1,800 is sort of his deal. I think 2,000 is a bit too far for him personally. I've noticed with a lot of his sectional runs, it just sort of peaks at that final 200 meters. And but anyway, I digress. We'll keep going with this. His 1,600 meter run at Chatin, I think it was 3 starts ago, was quite good behind Looking Cool. But he's also placed over the 1,800 meters, 2,000 behind horses like Rise Brethren, Running Glory, and then obviously Super Bella to end last season. He's trialled well, gets a new jockey in Harry Bentley aboard. The draw is fantastic. Look, I found this quite a tough race to assess. I think it's not chock-packed full of quality, but they're quite even horses in my opinion. So I've got Co-Partner Elites on top. I just think he'll be hitting the line nicely from the draw, and an honourable mention for Packing Famous as well on the quick backup. But no confidence for me, but number 1 Co-Partner Elites.
So Joshua goes for the top weight co-partner. It's a nice horse, actually. I mean, I think he's got a leading chance. He brings a bit of class, doesn't he? And all his 6 runs so far in Hong Kong have been at Sha Tin, but he might find this a little bit easier here. It's a shame, really. He's gone up £8 for not winning, and beaten a short head twice and ahead by Super Bella, as you say. But he's got good form back in Britain too. He was twice a winner, and then he was 5th in the Royal Ascot in the Britannia. It's a very good handicap there. And a lot of horses that seem to run in the Britannia eventually emigrate and they come to Hong Kong, and this is one of them. Really nice horse, and he could do better yet, couldn't he? A win here could really do a lot for his confidence. Who do you like here, Shireen?
Race 6, just a field of 9, but it is so tricky because the current favorite is $5.4, and the longest price here is $13 for Majestic Victory and Robot Warrior. You know how wide open is it? And my selection will be Sylvester de Souza's mount. That will be number 4, Gift of Lifeline, because I believe that he is quite competitive at this current rating. Because last season we see that Gift of Lifeline always chase well and then finish close, but just a bit unlucky always. But this season he's now 7-year-old. I believe that he's still competitive, especially with Sylvester de Souza on board. He should be a very good jockey for this horse. Before that, he rode this horse for 3 times and scored 2 winners. I believe that we have him on board again. Gift of Lifeline can have some great performance tonight. So number 4 for me.
So Shireen going for Gift of Lifeline, trying to snap a 16-race losing run. Sylvester de Souza getting quite a few opportunities for Tony Millard. And I'm going for number 8, Storm Legend. Like Joshua, I don't really have a great deal of confidence here. Although Storm Legend is receiving £16 from co-partner elites, I think the top weight has a sort of a class angle. And Storm Legend, he's hard to catch right. He's still to win. I thought his run at Sha Tin was better than his finishing position looks. He wasn't pushed too hard, and I kind of liked that run last time. Just try to find where he finished again. It was 10th, 10th to Gallant Crown, Alexi Bedell, who's still to get a win, as Joe says here at the beginning of the season, and so too Antoine Hamlin. So both Frenchmen still waiting on their first win of the season. But yeah, Storm Legend, he's run some good races here at Happy Valley, and he's well handicapped. He's nicely handicapped, Casper Founds, but it's not a race that I would be putting my mortgage on, that's for sure, because it looks very tricky. Just to recap, in the Fortress Hill handicap, Joe goes for 2, My Ecstatic. Joshua goes for the top weight, number 1, Co-Partner Elites, and Shireen, number 4, Gift of Lifeline. And I'm going with a great deal of conviction for number 8, Storm Legend. So now we come to our favourite part of the show, our best bets. See if we can do well here. Joe, who do you like as your best bet?
I was really looking forward to this because I wanted to see his return because he was doing so well at Happy Valley. That's going to be race number 2. It is a Class 2 race over the 1650, and that is Fafa, number 4. He was really, really good at Happy Valley. He was a Happy Valley specialist, winning 1800-meter race, 1650, has form line against Beluga, exceptional, nice, meaningful star. But they tried him in the 4-year-old Triple Crown Series, and he just wasn't up to expectations. And then they tried him back into the Class 2, and he just didn't run on well. So I think he just needed the rest. I think he's gonna run really good, fresh. Especially we saw that with Satanta, who was another one that was in the Triple Crown Series and got a win first out after having all that rest. So I think Fafa just needed that rest. He won 5 consecutive races in a row. Really looking forward to seeing him again with Vincent Ho when he had that big winning streak, and he knows the horse. He was the one that was on him when he had that big winning streak. So race number 2, number 4, Fafa for me.
How Fafa will it win, Joe?
I don't know. We have to ask Shireen.
Of course, you picked Sakanta, didn't you, the last time?
I'm going by the same thing for that. I think everybody that's coming out of that Triple Crown series going into like some of these class races, I think they're gonna have a big chance in coming up, and I think you could get some decent prices on them. But I think Fafa's the second favorite to well, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'll just leave it at that.
Yes. Remind us, Joshua, who you like as your best bet of the card.
Yeah, that was number 6, race 5, number 6, Island Surprise. Everything I alluded to earlier, good draw, Zach Purton, back in grade. I think he's a tremendous chance. I actually got to have a quick squiz at the odds, Hong Kong odds, and he's come up with a 320 favourite. So I think he's going to run a bold race and break that losing streak in Hong Kong.
Okay, Joshua has gone for race number 5, number 6, Island Surprise. I'll have a head-to-head. Joe went to race number 2, number 4, Fafa. Who do you like, Shireen?
Yeah, my best bet will also be in race 2 as well, but maybe I would say it will be my best Quinella because I would like to select number 6, Jumbo Fortune. I know that Fafa is a strong contender, but Jumbo Fortune with Joe Morera on board, I believe he would improve after having a good first up run last week at Sha Tin, because I believe that this 4-year-old, he showed a great final session last time out over 1400 meters. At Sha Tin, he chased well from the very, very slow pacing. And then racing over 1650 at Happy Valley is also a good move for him. He was just beaten by 2 lengths last season over this course and distance here. And I believe the pace in this race will not be very fast, but hopefully Jumbo Fortune breaking from a good draw gate 4, and also with Joe Morera on board, he should be in the beginning, I believe he is able to stay behind the leader, so that would be a nice position for him. And I agree that Fafa is strong, and maybe also number 6, Jumbo Fortune is also have a chance to have a Quinella with Fafa. So number 6, Jumbo Fortune for me in race 2 to be my best bet.
Okay,
Yeah,
best bet.
Can we just change it to the best Quinella?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, let's do that. I actually fancy Sunny Star in that race, but it's a bit sentimental. I always liked Sunny Star, but
yeah, and I'm against but all of you too. I'm with Berlin Tango, so we'll see.
Oh,
that's what I love about Hong Kong racing. You know, you have eight or so runners, and there's 4 of us here picking different races. It's fantastic, isn't it?
So competitive.
Sometimes you're right.
And then Telecom Fighter wins.
Yes, makes all understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so Shireen, number 6, Jumbo Fortune. I went to race number 3 and I decided it would be Pretty Queen Prawn. And this is over the 1,000 meters. He needs to reverse form. This was just a week ago. He was 4th to Super Commander and in 2nd place, See You Again. But not for the first time. Pretty Queen Prawn had a ghastly draw. He's in gate 2 this time, which is a lot better. He's nothing from 11, but he's a good horse. This is his bag, 1,000 meters at Happy Valley. And Karis Teton, he's been sidelined, hasn't he? Because I think he has a sort of medically sidelined. So I believe it's now Lyle Hewitson takes over. So it's obviously a good replacement as well. So just to recap the best bets, bit of a head-to-head in race number 2 because Joe has gone for number 4, Fafa, and Shireen has gone to number 6, Jumbo Fortune. Joshua, very confident in race number 5, number 6, Island Surprise, and I'm going to race number 3, and that is number 8, Pretty Queen Prawn. So now we come to our value bets on the card. 8 races, and tricky to find a value bet, I thought. But Joe, who do you like as your value bet?
Yeah, I should have mentioned this when I was talking about him. That was race number 5, number 4, Happy Fat Cat. I think he'll be on the speed with the pacifiers this time. I think he'll be up there and try to hang on. I know that hasn't really performed as well. I mean, those trials were really good until you got into the, it's different when you're on the trials and then you go into race day and then they just totally don't perform. Maybe he was nervous. I guess horses get nervous, or yeah, they do actually. But yeah, Happy Fat Cat. I'm gonna go with you get about 13 to 1 on him. This guy's gonna probably, you might get something. If he doesn't, you get 3.4 to play. So I'm gonna go with Happy Fat Cat here with Jack Wong. I haven't seen Jack Wong. Has he won a race yet?
So far in this season, no. but he's going to have some good rise today.
Mm,
I think,
okay.
did he not go close at the weekend? Did he have a second or third? I think he might have.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah. Anyway, it's
Well,
6 o'clock in the
we're so used to seeing like Zach Purton and Karis Teeton and all these other guys that we forget that some of these other ones can win races too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always such a big factor, isn't it? When you're looking at jockeys, you know, like the first couple of races, for instance, today, like there's 8 runners and 9 runners, and the jockeys in the first 2 races, they're almost like the cream of what's there. And, you know, like Hewitson and Morera, Purton, Kuhn, Bedell, they're all the good ones. But as you say, Joe, every now and then you'll get Dylan Moe or something with something that's 125 to 1 shot, you know, so you can't count
Dylan
them out.
Moe, Ruin Maya,
Bruin Meyer.
Keith Young, who's actually pretty good. I like him, but he doesn't. I don't think he gets enough credit for what he does.
Yeah, he came back from injury, didn't he? I think last season, Keith Young. I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I tend to get mixed up between Derek Long and Keith Young sometimes, but
And then you have Angus Chung.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's tricky sometimes, but yeah, good jockeys. And Matthew Chadwick, of course, who won the Tony Cruz Award.
Yeah, and then there was at one point Matthew Poon would win the last race no matter what
yeah,
for like 5 weeks in a row.
Oh,
train.
yeah. Quite funny.
That's always a good emoji as well. Just
Yeah.
put Poon and then put a train afterwards. So race number 5, Joe went for number 4. Happy Fat Cat as his value bet. Joshua, who do you like as your value bet?
Yeah, I went for race 7, number 2, Drops of God. I think John Size has done a little sneaky one with this. We'll have a look at his past form. It's been pretty good. The last time Zach Purton rode him, he ran 3rd at the Valley behind Valiant Elegance, who we all know very well. He had the 1 trial on the lead-in with this, with Zach on board. Now, he did try with blinkers on. He resumed last week with no blinkers on. Plus, he was caught wide, no cover, and the vet, examined him. He was all good. Now he's racing with the blinkers on, and Zach jumps on at the same time. They've got a good draw, and over the 1,200 meters, and I think this is a little sneaky move. I think he's gonna ride really, really well here. I think he's going to be right in the finish. And I had a look at the odds: 730 for the win, 330 for the place. So I think there's a bit of value there. And I think, as I said, I think John Size has done a little sneaky one here. And as I said, trialled him with the blinkers and trialled well with the blinkers on. He was very hard. He was hard held. And then they raced him first up with no blinkers. And now the blinkers are officially on. So that's race 7, number 2, Drops of God.
Interesting thoughts there, Joshua. Have you been speaking to John Size?
No. I got no connections anywhere. It's just me and the cats.
Yeah, well, that's the beauty, isn't it? It's your own grey matter that's coming out of these things. It's fantastic. So Joshua goes to race number 7, number 2, Drops of God. Shireen, who do you like as your value selection?
Yeah, for my value bet, I believe in the final 2 races on the card, we should keep our eyes on Zach Purton's mark. And apart from Drops of God in race 7, my value bet will be in the final race in the card, race 8, number 1, Wood on Fire, who will also be ridden by Zach Purton. We see that on tonight there will be 7 rides for Zach Purton, and 4 of them will be carry a top rate, but Wood on Fire, I believe he is having quite a good chance, although breaking from the wide draw. But he should be quite competitive in Class 4. Last season we see him to have several good ones in Class 3, but the rivals there are too strong. So going back to Class 4, just like last time out, also breaking from a wide draw, he can just finish second behind Hero Star, who is a very consistent horse. And this time, I believe the field is not that strong in race 8. So Wood on Fire, although carrying a top weight and also breaking from a wide draw, but it is good to have Zach Purton on board. And I believe ridden by this 5-time champion jockey in Hong Kong, he can overcome some some disadvantage. So Wood on Fire, currently the price will be 9.5. I think he will be a good choice as a value back.
Pretty fair price there, Shireen. In the final race, number 1, Wood on Fire, ridden by Zach Burton. I picked him as well in my selections, but I didn't put it as the value. But it's such a tough race, isn't it? But it's a good selection, I think. I went to the race before that. I went to Josh's race, actually, number 9, Street Scream. So I thought this was so wickedly difficult, though. I mean, Drops of God make a good case there, Joshua. And Street Scream, it's a funny thing, he's drawn 9 of 9, but it hasn't really been a hindrance to running well. He's had so many high barriers lately, but he won from, I think it was gate 12 under Chadwick last season, and he also finished 2nd and 3rd from double-digit barriers too. I just think he's still quietly progressive, and you know, I think it's a race where you can just give a chance to anything. And the runner may be a bit high in the weights. He kind of ended on a sort of low key note, didn't he, at the end of last season? He sort of ran well for a while like that. Interested with Joe Moreira on board. Rising from Ashes, well, it was Moreira who was on Rising from Ashes when he won, and then he was a disappointing favourite later, drawn 8. I don't think he's the fastest from the get-go, Rising from Ashes, and I was kind of hoping that that Street Scream under Matthew Chadwick would sort of just be dropped in, and I still think he's got a bit of improvement there. And Spontaneous, well, when he gets up to this sort of class 3 level, I think he tends to struggle, and so I think class 4 is his bag. So just to recap on the value bets, Joe goes back to race number 5, and that's number 4, Happy Fat Cat. Joshua, race number 7, number 2, Drops of God. Shireen, race 8, the top weight, Wood on Fire. And I'm also going back to race number 7, and that is number 9, Street Scream. Well, it's an interesting card tomorrow. It's eight races. I don't think there's an easy race there. I'll just be happy, I think, to get a win on the board, but we'll see what happens. Thank you very much once again for watching the Beer Garden. We'll see you again at the weekend for Shatton. Until then, enjoy the action tomorrow. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.